The rich person, his delay in paying back his loan is dhulm, is transgression. Okay, is harm. He's doing wrong to the people. So to delay in paying back your debts is actually dhulm, is actually a big sin. So the first solution is to give the person more time. The second is to put the condition. You can either put one of these three conditions. The first being putting the condition that the rest of the payment is due upon delay of any single payment. Okay, you're selling furniture to this person, and this person and you're selling him, £1,000 worth of furniture. He's going to pay back £100 every month, but you're afraid that he might delay payment. So you put in the condition that if you delay even 1 day or 10 days, whatever, as you wish, you put in the condition that if you delay in paying back even one of the installments, even X amount of days, then the rest of the installments are due immediately. What is the benefit of this condition? Benefit of this condition is that upon this condition you can go to the judge, for example, and say this was a condition, he was late, he has to pay everything back, and so the judge will force him to pay everything back. Right? This is one of the ways, which is to put in a condition that if you're late, that everything's due. Okay. Next one is putting the condition that a late fee is to be paid to a third party, such as charity upon delay in payment. Some of the ulama mentioned this, such as the Shafi'i scholars, and also some of the Maliki scholars. However, there's a lot of difference amongst the ulama regarding this. How can you oblige to pay someone else, which is a second contract in that one contract? They're saying it's like two contracts in one, right? However, inshallah, we see permissibility, inshallah, of this. That a bank may tell you, for example, if you're taking money from it, and then you're paying back installments on 0 interest, for example, and if you're late in payment, it can say, okay, you'll have to pay back to a third party, whether it be a charity or to XYZ, you will have to pay him on the occasion of being late X amount of money. Right. You can also put the condition that the client pay for all the costs incurred by the seller or lender from the third parties due to late default in payment by the buyer or borrower, such as bounce checks, legal costs, etc., etc. So this is another way to actually stop a person from being late, isn't it? If you're going to oblige him to pay for everything, okay, he's putting a check, but it's bounced. That's a £25, fee, isn't it? The banks charge you £25 if you're late with, if the check bounced. And so if that's the case, then because of this, you can actually put that cost upon the person, and you can also the legal cost in order to make sure you get the money from him. You can also put that on the person as well. So these are the Islamic ways that we have to get the money out of the people. But anything else is not permissible. Inshallah, there might be more ways that the ulama think about. However, apart from this, at the moment, the ways that the people have at the moment of asking for more money, or a late fee, etc., are not permissible at all. The third point I put there is that any condition of increasing installments or late fee, etc., is riba. Okay, so it's not permissible to stipulate this condition at all in the contract. We come to the last page, and we will talk about, inshallah, 2 remaining things, and that is the mortgages and the modern dilemma of the mortgages, and what do we do about mortgages, and how do we buy a house in England, and the prohibition, and we will also talk about insurances, and what of insurance is halal and what of insurances are haram. Mortgages, okay. First of all, it is not permissible to take a loan from a bank in order to buy a house. Why? Because it is a loan. It is a guarantee. It is an act of loan. It is an act of riba. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prohibited riba. And some of the ulama in our time are of the opinion that it is permissible. This is why we see some of the ulama, some of the ulama of Egypt, for example, some of the ulama of Qatar, for example, they're saying that, okay, for the first house it's permissible. The fact of the matter is it is not permissible. Why? Because riba is is a matter which has been made haram by the text of the Quran, and it has been made haram in and of itself. So therefore, the only time in which this riba will become halal is when there is an extreme necessity. What is the extreme necessity? The extreme necessity is when you will die. Either if you don't do it, you will die. If you don't do it, you will lose a part of your body. If you don't do it, you lose an eye, for example. If you don't do it, you're going to lose your eyesight. This is extreme necessity to do with your own life, or to do with your own religion, for example. This is extreme necessity. Apart from that, without having your own house, you will have difficulty, but you will not die. You'll still be able to rent. So this is why the necessity in the West has not reached the level after which we can say that riba is permissible. If someone puts a gun to your head and say, hey, if you don't take a loan, then I'm going to blow your head off, then this is extreme necessity. Then we will permit you to take a loan from the bank. However, if this issue doesn't reach until up to that, then inshallah it is not. Then the hukum is that it is not permissible to take loans from the banks in order to buy a house. Okay. Because of this hukum, then we have so many different trials for Islamic ways of buying houses. We have XYZ types, and I already have told you before, I'm not going to talk about particular banks, because I'm not here to talk about, give fatwa, but we have a lot of different Islamic solutions at the moment that are there. They have a lot of problems. And the problems that they have, I have enlisted them here. They may have all these problems, they may have some of these problems, and you can figure it out when you look at their contracts yourself. The first problem that they have is that it's a ploy to disguise riba. That they're actually trying to hide riba in the contract that they're showing. How are they doing that? Well, let me give you an example. I'm a poor guy, right? I don't have much money, I'm a poor man. So I go to Rahim and I say, Rahim, I need money, because Rahim's a very rich guy. So I say, Rahim, I need money to buy a car. The car costs 10,000 pounds. So Rahim says, here you go, Tawfiq. And Rahim's, he's a businessman, hasn't really read about Islam much, so he doesn't know about riba and all that. But he wants to make money as a businessman, so he says, here you go, Tawfiq, take 10,000 pounds and give 12,000 back. So I say, hey Rahim, that's riba. That's riba straight out. That's haram. So Rahim's shifty, right? And he says, okay, Tawfiq, do it this way. Let me buy the car for you. How much is it going to cost me? 10,000 pounds. And I'll sell it to you in installments for 12,000 pounds. So in this case, therefore, I end up paying Rahim how much? 12,000. So he's getting the 12,000. And that was his intention, wasn't it? So here we have disguised riba. Same thing is taking place. It's riba. Right? He spent 10,000 and he got back 12. Now why was it riba here and not riba in normal cases? In other cases wherein, for example, a car dealer might just buy a car for 10,000 and then sell it to someone for 12,000. Why was it riba here and not riba there? It was riba here because Rahim only bought the car because I wanted to buy from him. If I told Rahim that Rahim, okay, you go ahead and buy the car, and I'll think about whether I still want to buy the car from you or not, right? The Rahim wouldn't do that, would he? Right? And he only bought the car because I had already promised him and signed and put my name on that piece of paper saying, Rahim, I'll buy the car from you. This is why this is riba. It's actually hiding riba. What was the difference between him buying the car, me buying the car? No difference, right? It's just the money just went to the car dealer. The car came to me. What's the difference between me paying the money, Rahim paying the money? No difference. And so here, it was riba because we agreed to two contracts in one contract. That Rahim would buy the car and then Rahim would sell the car to me. So there's two contracts in one contract, and so this leads to riba. So they're actually trying to find a hila or a impermissible way to riba.